This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we are in California. I am here with Barnes and Conti. Since 1985, as the developer of the most popular influence training courses worldwide, they have provided tools and techniques to develop the skills that help you build relationships to get results. I am joined here with the CEO and the author. Kim, thanks so much for joining us here today.
You're most welcome.
I'm going to start off a little bit about yourself. You basically were formally educated at University of Maryland and University of Minnesota.
That's
You have
right.
been in the leadership and organizational development really for 5 decades. Isabel Conti and you launched this company to provide services to corporations, to governments, and nonprofit organizations. Share with me a little bit how this company got started back in the day.
Well, I was always interested in the topic at first of creativity. And my colleague, Isabella Conti, and I had lunch one day and we thought, instead of doing this by ourselves, why don't we get together and see if we can put together a team where we can really deliver this kind of information, these kinds of skills to our clients. Each of us had a set of clients, and we thought, why not put them together and see what we can make happen? And things happened.
And it happened, and here we are today. That is a great story. I mean, they say money makes the world go round, but ideas are what creates that money. I mean, would you say ideas are many, but to actually take action on that idea is that much more rare, would you say?
Well, the reason that we focus on influence, and that really is our primary program and product. We have many different programs, but influence is our most popular one. And it's because we really can't do things by ourselves. Most things we do, we need other people's support, their help, the resources that they have at their disposal to help us make things happen. So ideas are great, but a lot of great ideas walk out the door every day, and companies never have a chance to use them. So we really like to make sure that ideas can actually become actualities, can become reality.
No one is an island, right? No one's an island. We can't do it alone. I mean, for an idea to grow, it must inspire more than just the originator. Many must be on board for success to happen. The ability to influence, inspire others, I mean, that is so important. And yet I see a lot of companies that really don't even teach this at all. Is that what you come across as well?
Well, I think a lot of people assume that either you are an influential person or you're not. And that is something that's inborn, that is not something people can learn. But it turns out that it is something that all of us know how to do at one time in our lives. I don't know any small children that don't know how to get what they want. So we start life as influencers. And then a lot of that kind of wears away in school and work and real world.
Right.
Shy about being influential. Or perhaps we only know one way to do it. We haven't had a lot of models. So it's really helpful for people to learn that there are a lot of different behaviors that go into effective influence. And that's what we teach. And that's what people come to us for.
Absolutely. I mean, when you have an idea and you want to make it happen, why is strategic thinking really vital to that success?
Well, that is our other most popular program, along with exercising influence, because short-term thinking will only get us to the short term. If we really want to make things happen in the world, we have to be thinking much farther out. So in that particular program called Strategic Thinking, we teach a combination of critical thinking, creative thinking, and then long-term strategic thinking, so that you are not just looking at how's this going to impact my world, my team, my organization today and tomorrow, next week, but what's going to happen in the longer run? How is it going to affect our plans? How is it going to affect our colleagues, our clients, our profession?
Exactly. I mean, seeing beyond today, and that's why somebody who can bring in an outside perspective definitely helps. For 4 decades, these are exactly the tools and skill sets that you have taught. How are your programs delivered? I mean, are they in person? Are they online? I mean, does the public now demand online? Is that what you've done?
Well, we've always done, or for a long time, we've done some things online, but before the pandemic, most of what we did was in classrooms, in person, in within organizations, or sometimes people would come to our office. But the pandemic came, we couldn't do that anymore. And many of our clients, our customers still wanted to have this kind of training. So we figured out how we could make it very engaging and very experiential, even though it was done at a distance. And
You
now
you
all of our programs can be done either in person in the classroom, or they can be done through Zoom and other
Yep.
similar media.
The company that began back in the 80s obviously keeps evolving after the pandemic. You did the same as any other company out there and evolved as well. Managing innovation and understanding intelligent risk taking are all part of creating really a culture for risk and innovation. Can this training, would you say, change an entire organization and maybe even the way they think overall?
Well, it's not magic, but if you get the right people who learn these kinds of skills, innovation is more than creativity. Innovation really means making something happen that's different. And there's a lot of creative thinking that goes into it, but innovation itself is very practical. So it requires management, it requires leadership. And so there's a whole range of skills along with being able to think creatively that allow innovation to occur. And it can happen on a company basis, depending on whether the right people learn these skills, and whether they are willing to share them with others in their organization.
Sure. That is excellent. I mean, you have programs on change management, decision making, problem solving. I mean, let's face it, these are difficult skills. I mean, these are not really taught in business school, yet we all know that they are mandatory for a successful company. Is that what you have found that do a lot of people, are they not equipped with this type of training, and are they pleasantly surprised that you have created it in such a way that is pretty accessible?
Gary, I think that a lot of people talk about there are hard skills and there are soft skills. But what we think, and you said it, we think that there are hard skills and then there are the really difficult skills, the ones that are more complicated to learn and that are not necessarily ones that are taught in organizations, but are essential if you want to be a leader, if you want to really make things happen in the world with your company.
I mean, you get worldwide results because your extensive industry experience not only has a local presence, but a global reach across 30 countries. I mean, that combination really sets you apart from others, would you say?
Well, I think there are other organizations that have a global reach. Um, we have really tried to grow our
Right.
business companies in countries where people have um, an interest in these kinds of things, where the organizations are global, and therefore we a lot of companies like to make sure that people learn the same skills wherever they live in the world. And so we're able to do that because we have facilitators and partners who are on pretty much all of the continents, not Antarctica, we're not there yet, but
Many
other.
companies out there possibly doing the same type of thing, but I mean, honestly, you were a trailblazer back in the 80s,
Oh
doing
my,
something that I think a lot of organizations didn't even understand maybe at that time. So I think that's kind of exciting to share with people. I mean, programs from leading world-class teams to internal consulting. I mean, can a client pick and choose
yeah.
exactly what they need, kind of based on where they're at that moment?
They can, and oftentimes they choose more than one. We have a number of customers who have used almost all of our programs over the years. Depends on what's going on. Depends on what kind of initiatives are happening in their company. Depends on what kinds of issues and problems their customers are having. We have a lot of different programs to meet a lot of different needs, but they all are about moving ideas into action.
So no matter where they start, you can still keep expanding on your programs. But the idea is probably just to start. So your programs are easily accessible, and your
Yeah,
consulting services include speaking engagements for an entire organization and even a more tailor specific custom programs if need be.
we
So,
do.
how do these businesses get started with you? How do they get started?
Well, since we've been around for quite a while, a lot of it is word of mouth. People move from one organization to another, and a lot of times we're happy that they'll take us with them. Sometimes people will hear me speak or someone from my company speak at a conference. They're interested. They come to us. Sometimes people read one of my books. You can see them in the background. The most popular one is Exercising Influence, but I have others. And sometimes that's what brings people to us. So
Excellent.
different
So
ways.
obviously they can go to your website, get the information there. But like you say, a lot of these people, it's just word of mouth. They have enjoyed you in one company and they end up going to another company. Kim, you believe that great ideas can change the world. You help move those ideas into action. Has this been rewarding work for you?
It has been for a long time, and it still is, I'm happy to say.
So you continue still enjoy that journey, helping these companies out there take these ideas that maybe never would take fruition, and making them understand that they need to influence others, get other people on board with that idea so that they can collaborate and create relationships. I think that's very exciting. It's been an honor to introduce your company. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, you can see all their programs. You can download their entire catalog right there on the site as well. I mean, if you need one-on-one, classroom, self-paced, virtual, or web-based sessions, really they do them all, and they're tailored to your specific needs. Once again, that is Barnes and Conti, moving ideas into action. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.